Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is 1:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in sunny Florida. I am broadcasting live on Facebook land for Angelik Hands, as well as on my YouTube channel for Angelik Hands. So, hello and welcome. Today's event is it's going to be all about living a life of freedom and purpose and living a life of so many different things. So if you're currently, in a point in your life where you feel like you've hit a plateau or you keep running up against this invisible wall, you're not even sure what this wall is made out of, where you feel like you're stuck, or perhaps there's just a lot of chaos going on around you. Tune in if you happen to catch this, on the live. Wonderful. Let me know who's here joining me. This will also be available as a playback, so I'll include the hashtag replay so you can catch this later on today. For those of you that are not familiar with me, my name is Anne Miller French. I am the owner and founder of Angelik Hands. I'm the creator of the Self-Love Academy. I am a quantum life coach and energy healer. I work with modalities of Reiki, and everything is done remotely. So my practice has shifted more to distant Reiki, also light language, quantum energy healing. I am a naturally gifted author of poetry, and I am also a naturally gifted psychic, medium, and intuitive. So Self-Love Academy is going to be the topic today of how the Academy will help you work through the walls that you're up against, the chaotic energy, breaking through, anything that feels like a limitation or you feel stuck and you're not quite sure, where these things are showing up in your life. That's where I step in as your life coach, as your quantum life coach. So a lot of different things that I do as I'm helping my students that are currently enrolled in the academy, and my clients that I've been working with for many years since my practice started. And it has been a beautiful journey, not only watching, when they started with me and where they're currently at, and even looking at how my life has changed so much. And just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a background, and I have more details on my About Me page of my website. You can check that out, when you feel called to. And the website is angelikhands.com. That's ANGELIKHANDS.com. So those of you that are hopping on, hello and welcome. So I'm going to be sharing quite a bit of information today. There's also going to be time for questions and answers regarding the topic that I'm going to be covering today, which is living a life of freedom and purpose. And who doesn't want that? To really understand what it feels like to feel free, have that sense of freedom in your body, and knowing that whatever you're creating within, you start to see that outside of you, and it's pretty amazing. And even taking your, transforming your life's pain and taking it and transforming it into your life's purpose. And that is exactly what led me to this platform, what led me to what I currently do for a living. So many years ago, this was in the early 90s, I was in the most violent relationship that I was ever in my life. And I have, it's been a while since I've talked about this, but I really felt called to share this with whoever needed to hear this information today. It was by far one of the hardest relationships that I was ever in, but the most life-changing for me. And That, among a lot of other things that were going on with my health at the time, and a lot of rock bottoms and pitfalls, those were the catalysts that started me on my journey with holistic wellness and working with all the different modalities that I either currently work with or that I have personally experienced firsthand. So, with that said, looking back, I realized that those experiences were some of my greatest teachers. Now, I don't I don't condone that, but at the same time, it helped me to through the mirrored reflecting back at me, and those persons, places, things outside of me were reflecting back what was going on, the chaos and um, the destruction that was going on literally inside of my own body, which ultimately took a toll on my health. Now, like I said, this started in the early 90s. And of course, there are a lot of things that led up to that point. So it was understanding, working through the layers, and finally, um, you know, saying to myself, enough is enough. I know I deserve better than this. And I reached out for help. I remember picking up the phone and calling and scheduling my first session and talking to someone about it, and actually looking back at all the different all the like the chain of events that led me to that point. And excuse me, I've talked about this before, where I ended up having, emergency surgery. That, had I not had that surgery, actually, it was a couple of surgeries, I wouldn't even be here today. And I know that if I didn't have that, if I didn't follow that voice within to remove myself from that toxic relationship that I was in, again, I know that I wouldn't be here today. And it was in that moment of not even knowing what to expect, just knew that there was still a part of me that had that courage to um, start the process of taking my power back, and through an act of self love, didn't realize it at the time. It literally, you know, led me into a different path, and started opening up doors and learning different things just through my own experiences. And this is something that I've talked about, to my clients and to my students, and my different platforms, was working through PTSD, working through triggers, going through the process of taking my power back, um, doing daily self care, acts of self love every day, change behavior, um, working with energy healing, and really cleaning up my own backyard, if you will, to allow myself to be the best version of me, and to be here to be able to work with others. And I am, sitting in immense gratitude that I have been able to do that. And there are some days where I am very open about that, where I feel like I've got all this, like, bursts of energy. And then depending on what's coming in, there are times where I know that I have to be my own best friend and say, you know what, I got to take a time out right now, take some time to myself, which is an act of self love. And carving time out for extra self care in the morning, or even if it's just 5 minutes of mindfulness, breath work, meditation, moving my body, whatever that looks like. So, with the Academy, it is a culmination of holistic wellness techniques and quantum healing practices, different things that I have learned over the years, and things that either come naturally for me, personal experiences, wisdom, the knowledge within, tapping into my inner shaman, my inner medicine woman, my life as an energy healer, my life as an intuitive, and all the gifts of my extrasensory abilities, and being able to tune in to the energies of the clients and the students that I'm working with, and being able to see where the blockages are, see where the walls are, see where the blind spots are, and act as a mirror, reflecting back and helping another person to work through those walls, work through those challenges, work through those obstacles, to start clearing those things out. It's a lot of different ways that we do this. I am teaching you, I'm mentoring you, I'm coaching you, I am guiding you, and creating a safe zone, a safe environment for you to do your work, but you're ultimately doing the work. So there's a process. Again, this is one of many things that I offer in my academy. So it's one of the things is called biohacking, and biohacking is a process of transforming and reprogramming your body and your mind. So when you think of, there's the subconscious mind, there's the unconscious mind, there's the conscious mind, different brain activity, and depending on, what part of you is sending out the messages, like subconscious mind, that's running on autopilot. So if you're finding that there's information being sent out here and it's not in agreement with what your true heart's desires are, there are imbalances, and bringing awareness to those parts of self, bringing awareness to unhealed versions of yourself, bringing awareness and acceptance to the parts of you that you may have rejected or abandoned or just chose not to look at. And those are the very things that each and every one of us is being challenged with right now, and having to face ourselves in the mirror and to start looking at the things. So if we're ever in judgment of another person, that is the mirror reflection back. Where are we in judgment of ourselves? So my intention is for every student, every client, every person that I work with to feel safe, in your body. And that is huge for me. There's, feeling safe. There's the trust factor. That's why before embarking, on this 12-week program, we go through a mini interview process. You get to know me, I get to know you, and do a complimentary consultation as far as how we can work together to bring about change and transformation, so that you can start living a life of freedom and happiness and prosperity and abundance, and taking all this pain, all this trauma that's standing in your way, working to shift through the layers, start clearing the stuff out, clearing the clutter out, and making space for what it is that you do want, and moving forward in your life of purpose, where you're being guided by your soul. So the technique that I wanted to share with you today is, I'd like you to ask yourself the question, what is one area of your life right now where you feel stuck, or things just, they're not moving, and you may even feel like you get some forward momentum, and then boom, you get knocked back down off your feet or back on your butt. Trust me, been there more times than I even care to admit. And when these things come up, it's an opportunity to shed light on a part that's been in the darkness for so long, which is an absence of light, an absence of love, and going in, looking at what's coming up, and doing a deep dive and starting to face these aspects and to start like breaking it down into bite-sized chunks of information, and through change behavior being able to create new habits, sending new information, you know, with working with your brain and how it regulates the nervous system, and recognizing if your body has been stuck in uh, a nervous system mechanism like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn for most of your life because of trauma, because of PTSD, because of past injuries, being witness perhaps to a natural disaster, being in toxic relationships, not only with yourself, but with others. So many different things can, you know, fire this up where it's almost like waking up a part of you that's been asleep for so long, and all of a sudden your brain doesn't know the difference between real or imagination. It just knows that it's that similar feeling. And that's where we go into, like I was talking about the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder, and it feels very real. So where there's a part of you that's still checked out, and a part of you that still believes, because you're energetically still stuck in that timeline. Part of the work that we do is what I call shadow work. So it's bringing those fractals of your consciousness back into you, back into your vessel to start to feel whole again. Those are the very parts of you that house and hold a lot of your intuition and information of who you truly are, and you know, your gifts, your abilities, your answers. And when you start to call these pieces home and put together, it's like pieces of missing pieces to your puzzle. You're the puzzle, you're the frame. You start to remember who you are, and through the acts of self-love and taking these action steps forward, making these changes, you start to see differences in your outer reality. So when this academy started, it started out as an 8-week program, and I've actually found that this has grown into a 12-week program. So what does that look like? Well, when we work together, I have clients that choose to work with me once a week. I also have clients that work with me every other week, so 2 times a month. So you have a couple of options that are available to you. We pick a date and a time of the week that works best for you, and move forward on what it is that you'd like to accomplish in that time frame. Now, this could easily go on into, you know, to be completely honest, a program for a year, because, you know, although we cover so much information within a 12-week time span, I've had clients that said, you know what, we're just, I want to explore more of this. I want to go deeper into this, or recognize that once they've cleared away a lot of the layers, that more stuff, there's more things revealed, and they want to continue the work, and that's beautiful. You receive different techniques from me. So there's energy healing that's involved. I tune in intuitively each and every session to determine best course of action as far as what's currently going on, you know, your goals that you have set for yourself, and what's going to help you get from point A to point B to navigate forward. So as I mentioned before, I do ancient sound healing. There's the sounds that come that I'm sharing through me. I do light language therapy. I also do quantum energy healing and or distant Reiki. So it truly depends on, you know, where I'm being guided as far as what practices are going to be shared during your session. Shadow work, there's past life regression, there's quantum hypnosis, aura cleansing and repair. Sometimes psychic surgery is called for, depending on what you have going on. If you have a lot of health challenges, or if you have a lot of, you know, tears in your aura, depending on, you know, what's getting through and how many layers of trauma and the, you know, what we're actually working with. What is your level of body pain? Are you currently working through PTSD? Are you working through health challenges? What is your relationship with your body? Are you able to stand in front of the mirror and actually love your reflection? Are you able to stand in front of the mirror and say to yourself, I love you, I'm so proud of you? I mean, think about that. When was the last time that you actually, you know, did that? Or have you ever done that in your life? And saying those words, because every thought that you have and what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself, the words that you say are being received and recorded at the cellular level. Your inner child is listening, your cells are responding to what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself. So if you're, you know, thinking one thing and, you know, acting another way, like if things aren't matching up, you're going to get a wonky vibration. So it's really starting to clean up that energy field and start to look at where the imbalances are, where the old programs are, where the loops are, and to start, you know, like I said, breaking the stuff apart, cleaning it up, and creating new pathways for yourself, and creating you know, healthier ways of living, healthier ways of being, healthier ways of doing, and being more present in your body. Your body is your biggest communication piece. So if you have a lot of pain in your body, there's messages there. It's trying to speak to you, but it's quieting the chatter of, you know, what I call the monkey mind, where we have all kinds of things going on, but it's being present enough to take that time to listen to what is actually coming up and how uh, our body is trying to get our attention and go in deeper and do that, do the inner work that I've been talking about. Some of the other things that are covered, it's working through the, you know, we're these spiritual beings having a human experience. The human experience involves all these different emotions. So it's an energy emotion. So are you working through feelings of anger? Is there resentment? Is there rage? Is there humiliation? Is there shame? Is there guilt? Is there fear? Is there doubt? Is there worry? Is there anxiety? Working through all these different things and knowing that whatever turned this on, you were so powerful working with the quantum field of possibilities and opportunities. Whatever turned it on, you also have the ability to turn it off. That's how powerful you are. So whether you know, realize it or not, you're always manifesting. So it's really looking at where you're currently at and taking a look at the changes that you want to create for yourself. So, you know, what I would invite you to do at this time is to, again, ask yourself the question, like pick one area or perhaps two areas of your life where you're not moving forward, you're stuck, you're finding that you're not moving forward. Now I'd like you to also visualize or make believe, get to know your higher self. That's who you truly are. This is a version of you that already has it figured out. This is a version of you that this is a version of you where she or he dresses a certain way, acts a certain way, lives a certain way, just knows who he is or she is. So that is a part of us that's always trying to get our attention, almost as if, you're hearing that subtle whisper, I'm right here, follow me, I've got this figured out. If we can just get through whatever it is that's standing in between, and start working through these walls, these blockages, these obstacles, so you can continue to move forward and start living the life of freedom, living a life of purpose, living a life of abundance, living a life of however you want to live your life. So I really wanted to share this message with all of you today. That is, what's really been coming up, even for me with where I'm at, and really taking a deeper look at things that I was working with when I started my practice, and now where I'm shifting out of certain things and gravitating more towards other things, one of which is this my self-love academy, and also doing a combination of some of my energy healing services, um, and offering Akashic records readings for anyone that is interested in you know going in and taking a look at the information that's all about you. So I'm going to leave this open for if you have a question regarding any of the information that I have discussed today. I will check the feed, and I'm just checking my notes. There's so much information that I wanted to share. So the other part is, when I talk about feeling safe in your body, or feeling free in your body, there's a lot of different techniques that I've been incorporating in my practice with my clients, with my students, to help to reset, rebalance. Oh, there goes my internet. Okay, we're back on. For the, excuse me, to nourish the nervous system. So I've been including those in my sessions. I've not only noticed a difference for myself, but also getting the feedback from my clients and my students as far as how that's been helping them. So these are things, techniques, very quick and easy. I demonstrate them. You take what resonates with you, you discard the rest. And that's really what this journey is all about, is kind of picking and choosing and discerning what is truth to you, and what do you want to continue to focus on, what do you want to continue to build on, what do you want to continue to do for yourself, and picking and choosing and kind of building up your toolbox, your toolkit, if you will, with lots of amazing techniques and practices and different things, different ways that you can practice acts of self-love each and every day. So, for example, on Instagram, my Instagram account, so it's called the username is Self Love Academy Worldwide. And I started a 30-day self-love challenge, and I'm on day 15 today. So it's really, interesting even to go back over the last 2 weeks as far as the different things, like one act or couple acts of self-love that I did for myself that particular day, for like acting that out, demonstrating that for the day or part of the day, like actually doing it. And, when I first started, I thought, wow, 30 days. Then I thought, well, why not? Share this. It may inspire someone else. And I've left it open. I've gotten some feedback as far as where, others have shared what they've been doing for themselves as an act of self-love. So you never know, and it looks different every day, and it's just a beautiful reminder of how you took some time, and for me, how I took some time for me on that given day of an act of self-love. So I think today it was, I gotta think here. I know for yesterday it was this accepting accepting all of me, like accepting my body, accepting my this is my body, this is my vessel, accepting my body exactly as it is. And for those of you that aren't aware, it took working through the layers, an act of self-love, reaching out for help way back when in the early 90s when I was knee deep, working through multiple eating disorders. I also had what was called a distorted body image disorder. So I couldn't even look in front of a mirror without, it was like the feedback or the thoughts, even things that I was saying about myself, like shaming my body or not loving my body, and not being able to look in the mirror or say anything kind about my body. I mean, that's how much trauma I had. And when I was talking about that, the war within, and where things just, I wasn't in a good place at that time, and a lot of trauma, and just a lot of different things that led up to that point. So I was working through it, and I actually, was gifted with another light bulb moment today, another realization for me, part of my journey. And when I'm ready to share that with all of you, that's going to be another beautiful update. I'm still integrating that piece that was called back today, and it was huge. And it wasn't even what I thought. It was just that profound. And I'm just extremely grateful to be able to have had that experience and to call home, that missing piece. So it's a shout out to my soul sister, Jasmine, for working with me today. So I'm going to leave you with this, that if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule a complimentary 30-minute consultation, get you on the schedule, it's set up as a Zoom meeting, and we can talk about your goals, where you're at, what it is that you'd like to focus on in your life, where you're feeling stuck, and to start working together on knocking down those walls and those blocks and those obstacles to help you to get that forward momentum to move forward. And when you do the inner work, when you say yes to you, when you embark on your self-love journey, you will see change. Whatever you do in here, you start to see that out here. So I just want to thank you for joining me today. And, if you have any questions, feel free to include them in. I'll be checking the information with the replay that'll be available very shortly. And reach out. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.